I've gotten so many questions about my work with codependents and narcissists and empaths and distinguishing, pulling apart the threads of what all of those things can feel and look like energetically speaking. And one of the questions that I got today was pretty ironic in and of itself. The question was, and I've heard a lot of empaths wonder this about themselves, but not necessarily in such a focused context, which is, am I actually a narcissist? So my friend called me and she said, I just watched this video and I'm wondering because I empathed with somebody who had a devastating experience and I knew energetically that it wasn't mine, so I passed it through, said basically return to sender, thank you for the information, but this isn't mine. And she said, but I detached from it and immediately felt like a narcissist because she felt some sense of guilt for no longer feeling her friend's pain for her, basically. So I want to talk about this because I'm sure it comes up for you in ways that you might not even recognize. So what I believe, my cat is hanging on me, so I'm just going to keep petting the cat while this is happening. But what I believe in this situation, when we as especially codependents, but maybe as empaths, are put in a situation where, so her friend's pain, there was nothing that my friend could do. Like nothing is going to take away this pain, okay? To a codependent who views relationships as this kind of giving process where I'm basically coming as of service, I'm gonna save you in times of need, but we don't necessarily always know how to interact when we don't need anything. To a kind of codependent who really sees relationships as I want to be of service, even at the sake of, self-sacrifice. She didn't see any way in the situation that she could actually be of service, and she knew that. So to a codependent who really gets her self-worth based on her ability to serve, to save, to be of service, to know that there's literally nothing that's going to take this away from this person. You can carry it all you want, but you can try to say the right words, you can try to do anything, but you can't take it away. When you are aware of that empathically, and you're a codependent, it might make perfect sense to not want to look at the reality that in that moment you actually are being triggered into your own sense of not enoughness because you can't save your friend, because you don't know what to do, because you know that you can't save your friend, and because you also aren't willing anymore to feel the wounds of other people because you know that it just makes your heart and life miserable. You might question, like, okay, am I a narcissist because I am unwilling to look at the reality that really what I'm being triggered by isn't my friend's situation, is the situation of me not being able to know what my role is as the savior, to know that I cannot create change for the situation. And if I really loved this person, I would want to do that, but because I know that I can't do anything, I feel paralyzed and don't know what to say or don't know what to do. So you kind of cut it off because you don't want to look at that part of yourself. It's not even that you're looking at, their situation anymore. It becomes about you and what you're not capable of providing. And then you're triggered by that and go, oh, well, I'm not even reaching out to this person, or I'm not even doing what I want to naturally be doing because I'm not sure what I should do. And I don't know what my role is. When a codependent's role is constantly to serve and to save, it gets uncomfortable to not be able to do so. So my answer is, you cannot be a narcissist and empathic. It is impossible. You can be empathic and understand a narcissist, I suspect, in my experience anyway, but you cannot be an actual narcissist and empathic, because the classic understanding of a narcissist is that they don't have any emotional empathy. So they can cognitively empathize with you, but they can't emotionally feel the damage that they're doing. So they're pretty much void of their own existence. So what is required here is not a diagnosis. Am I now a narcissist? Am I cutting off my connections from other people because I'm not willing to feel their stuff for them? And, I don't know what to do in this situation. Here's the thing. This is why self-awareness is absolutely necessary in life. Because when you recognize, oh, I can't save, I can't help, and I can still, to not look at it is defensive. It's self-serving. It's denial, and it's just straight up being unaware, okay? So to not look at this reality that, like, okay, I actually am feeling detached from my friend's situation or from a situation simply because I don't know what my role is, simply because I don't feel of value unless I'm being of service. And then we disconnect when we go, I don't know what my role is. We tap out of these relationships that are actually important to our lives. We just don't know what to do with them. It is very easy to get trapped in the, like, I'm going to just kind of detach from this because I'm not needed here thing. But we're here to be wanted. We came to be wanted. We didn't come here to be needed, if we remember the truth of ourselves. So being aware that what you might actually be experiencing is self-serving and detaching. And it's not actually the truth. It's totally an ego's game to do that, because the truth of you is, I know that my worth, whether I am serving or not, I know that my presence is here, and what I feel in my presence is of value because I can feel what I feel like, and I trust that, like, even if I do nothing, see, this is the thing there. My friend feels defensive because she's like, I don't know. I don't know if I can even do anything. Even if you do nothing, the way to be of service is to send that person absolute love and look at it as their stuff, and that you genuinely, just, this is the self-aware person, even if you do nothing about it, is to recognize, oh, I'm uncomfortable. I'm made uncomfortable by this person's discomfort, not actually because of their discomfort anymore. It might have initially been that, but now I'm actually uncomfortable because there's nothing I can do to make this person comfortable. And that triggers our sense of worth. So knowing that and stepping into, okay, I'm actually worthy no matter what. And what does actually make me comfortable? Like, what do I want to do here? Do I want to do nothing? And if so, bless them. I love you. This is your pain. I totally know that you got this. But if you want to do something and you just don't know what to do, just do the thing that you actually feel comfortable doing. If it's a text message, so be it. Don't judge yourself like, I want to talk, but I don't want to text. Whatever you're actually comfortable doing, do that thing. And you'll feel light years ahead of this idea that, like, oh my God, I don't know what my role is or how to, escape this feeling of, like, am I an asshole because I'm disconnecting from my friend's discomfort, and, whatever that is that comes up when we feel like we don't know how to be of service. The self-aware person can look at that and recognize, okay, this is actually my shit. This is a limiting thing because my truth is I'm worthy of anything, and I don't need to do this, this, and this to be of service to this situation. You could be of service to a situation without ever saying a word and being absolutely, totally loving energetically. Or you can, just say, I'm not willing to look at that because that makes me uncomfortable, that I'm actually uncomfortable because I can't make you comfortable. And that there's a resistance there that is felt on both sides, and is ultimately going to stick with you and show up again and again and again in your life in whatever ways that it will, until you deal with that resistance and say, like, okay, I'm willing to look at you even when there's nothing I can do to serve you, even when there's nothing that you need from me at all. I can sit with you and it might feel uncomfortable for me, but that's my shit. And actually the healer is to sit in the discomfort with somebody else. Okay? So, my codependent friends, be with your friends when you don't know how to be. Okay? All right. I hope that made sense. Bye.